Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the class. Are you all ready? Okay. We have been discussing the physical features of India. So, what are the physical features? From the top, Himalayan mountain ranges, northern plain, desert, Indian plateau or peninsular plateau, coastal plains, then islands of India. These are the important physical features. The name of a chapter, the physical features of India. Physical features of India. About Himalayan mountain ranges, let me ask some questions. What is the main features of Himalayan mountain ranges? Yes, it's the youngest mountain, loftiest and youngest mountain in the world. The length of Himalayan mountain ranges is 2,400 kilometers. Then width, it varies from west to east. It has a three division from north longitudinally. Himadri, Himachal, then Shivalik. And the latitudinally, regional wise, we have a four division. Punjab Himalaya, Kumaon Himalaya, Nepal Himalaya, then Assam Himalaya. Then the northern plain which is located in the south of Himalayan mountain ranges. It has covered around 7 lakh square kilometers. It has a length of 2,400 kilometers, same like Himalayan mountain ranges. The width varies from 400 kilometers to 150 kilometers. Should not. Why I am recalling all those things, like all factors are the facts, or it may be the concept that we discussed. Why I am recalling? Because you should not forget all those things. Again, you should not get a chance of revision. Means everything should be get over. It should be get clear now itself. That's the reason I am repeating all those things. Then about plateau, the peninsular plateau. We know why we call it as a peninsular India. And the plateau, we know the meaning of a plateau. It's a tableland, up elevated land from the main sea level. So this plateau has divided into two divisions. One is northern part of plateau is called as Central Highland. Southern part, yes, Deccan Plateau. So in a central Highland we have further more divisions, and it is Malwa, Bundelkhand Plateau, Bagelkhand and Chotanagpur Plateau. In the northern part of Central Highland, it is covered by the North Plain, and in the west we have the desert. In the south we have Deccan Plateau. So this Deccan Plateau further we have a divisions. It's Karnataka Plateau and Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh and Kerala Plateau and Tamil Nadu Plateau we have discussed about that, is it not? So this Deccan Plateau, where is the Deccan Plateau? Is it not? So I have given some points about the Deccan Plateau. It's nothing much difference than this. And one more point about Deccan Plateau is it's in a triangular shape, irregular triangular shape. Actually, it's in a triangular shape, not exactly triangular, but it looks like a triangular shape. So this Deccan Plateau is covered by the mountain ranges. In the north, we have Satpura mountain ranges, Maikal and Baikal mountain ranges. In the west, we have Western Ghats. In the east, we have Eastern Ghats. So now, it's the time to discuss about Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. In this, the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats is having its own importance. We call this Deccan Plateau as the triangular, like a triangular shape. It is a triangular shape. And we have northern Central Highland. Central Highland. Here in the west, we have Western Ghats. In the east, we have Eastern Ghats. We will discuss about these Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats now. Western Ghats and the Eastern. These Western Ghats, it's a mountain ranges. It is a chain of mountains, Ghats. It's like it's not having much height than the Himalayan mountain ranges. It is having somewhat average height of 1.1 kilometers. From 900 meters to 1,100 meters of height, it varies in the Western Ghats. This Western Ghats is formed due to convergent boundary, as we discussed. Due to the convergence of these Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal Sea, it has formed. So this mountain range or these Western Ghats is continuously connected. It runs from here around what you call the river Tapi, from the river Tapi towards the Tamil Nadu, border of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka. From there to here that runs and is continuously connected. We don't have any break in between that. It's up elevated land. And here in the eastern directions we have Eastern Ghat. This Eastern Ghats, it has not continuously connected. It has a break in between. So because the river which flows towards eastern direction from the west, it has made divisions, means it has divided or it has disconnected the connection of these mountain ranges because of the main important rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri, which flows towards the eastern direction. Here there is no any river which flows towards western direction because what's the main reason? Here we have four important rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri, which flows towards eastern direction. So because of that we have a disconnection of these Eastern Ghats. Here we don't have any disconnection, it's continuously connected. Why? What is the reason? The rivers that flows from the Western Ghats to eastern. So why not that flows from east to west? Why? Because from east to west it is somewhat up slope. Here we have down slope, that's the reason that river that flows towards eastern directions. Here the height is somewhat more compared to these regions. So that's the reason the river that flows towards eastern directions, and there is no any rivers which flows towards western direction except two. One is Narmada and Tapi. We discussed, this Narmada and Tapi that divides this plateau. That's a two division. So these are the two important rivers. Not only this, there are some other sub-rivers, tributaries. But these are the two important rivers, Narmada and Tapi, which flows towards eastern direction. So this it's like a chain of mountain. The mountains continuously connected from or in western part by creating boundary or by making boundary, by acting as a boundary otherwise. So these Western Ghats which makes a boundary for the western part of this Deccan Plateau. It's a Deccan Plateau, is not. So it creates or it makes as a boundary for the western part of Deccan Plateau. So it's a continuous connection, continuously connected in the western part, and it makes a boundary for the western part of Deccan Plateau. It has average height, average height of Western Ghats about from 900 to 1100 meters. The river which flows towards eastern directions in the Western Ghat is only Narmada and Tapi. The rivers Narmada and Tapi which flows towards west creates valley. So you know what the concept of a valley. The meaning of valley is not. The valley is nothing but the place in between the two mountains. It's a valley. So this river Narmada and river Tapi, that creates a valley. The highest peak here that runs from this Tapi and towards the boundary of Tamil Nadu and Kerala and Karnataka is not there. So here in among these we have many mountains and many highest peaks over here. In among these, the highest peak of this mountain range is Anaimudi. Anaimudi is the name of a hill, otherwise mountain, which has more height in among the mountains which is there in these Western Ghats. Anaimudi, which is there in the Tamil Nadu. You can get to know why its name Anaimudi is similar to the word or the language of Tamil Nadu. Tamil, Anaimudi. So it's the highest peak mountain which is there in the Western Ghats. Is it all? It has a width of 50 kilometers to 80 kilometers. Width of these Western Ghats. This Western Ghat is continuously connected, is it not? It's continuously connected like this. The width, it varies from 50 to 80 kilometers. The width, it has stretched from this towards left. From we can calculate from any side, from west to east or east to west. It has a width of 50 to 80 kilometers. It varies. And regionally, we have a different name for these Western Ghats. We call it Sahyadri in the northern part of this Western Ghats. We call it Sahyadri. As you go towards south, you will get a Nilgiri. So there are many other names for these Western Ghats regionally. Is that over? Is that over? Then, the monsoon rain will get because of these Western Ghats. We get we'll get a rainfall, we'll get a precipitation of a rain in the first week of a monsoon in these places in southern part of India because of these mountain ranges. These mountain ranges that hurdles the moving of the clouds that which moves from southwest to east, northeast direction, that moves from southwest to northeast direction. We will be discussing detail about this climate chapter. You will be get clear in that time. So here, this cloud, suppose it's a clouds, this clouds is moving towards northeast direction from the southwest. When it moves towards northeast direction, these clouds will be hurdles, it will be stopped by the high peaks of these mountain ranges. And then, because of these mountain ranges, we receive the rainfall there. Is that all? During a monsoon season, because of these Western Ghats, we receive the rainfall. Then now, next is the Eastern Ghats. We have a difference between these both Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. So Eastern Ghats is not continuously connected. If you compare both, it's not continuously connected. The mountain chains are not continuously connected. So why it is not continuously connected? Because of the rivers, the four important rivers. The four important rivers disconnected the chain of mountain in east, means eastern part. These eastern Ghats which is lies in the eastern part, that's the reason. So the important rivers like the river Narmada, sorry, Godavari, Mahanadi, river Mahanadi and river Godavari and river Krishna and river Kaveri. Flows towards east directions. So that reason it is disconnected. The rivers disconnects the chain of mountain. The important river like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Here we have first, we have Mahanadi. The Mahanadi is a main river for the state Orissa. And we have Godavari, Krishna, then the Kaveri. These are the four important rivers, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. So these four important rivers that originates in the Western Ghats, because in the Western Ghats side we have high, the elevation land is somewhat more, so the reason that moves towards the down slopes. And the width, height, when we discuss about height, like for the imaginary line which passes from west to east, we call it in the only we can see in the global map. What do you call for that? The imaginary line which passes from west to east, latitudes. The imaginary line which passes from north to south is called as a longitude, is not. So the height of a land is called as altitude. So don't get confusion in between all the threes. Latitude, longitude and altitude are three different factors. The altitude is height. The altitude of Eastern Ghats is about, varies from 600 meters to 900 meters. Altitude is a height 600 to 900 meters. Here the width is somewhat more than compared with the Western Ghats. The average width, otherwise the width of these Ghats is from 100 kilometers to 200 kilometers. It varies from 100 kilometers to 200 kilometers. Here it has a more width comparing to these Western Ghats. Here it has a more width and disconnected, like the mountains we can see like this. In the Western Ghats, the structure of mountains, in the Eastern Ghats, structure of mountains will be like this. Means it is somewhat having less height and more width. Width is more, around 100 to 200 kilometers. Height is about around 600 to 900 meters. Sorry, the 100 to 200 kilometers, it's the meters. So, but in the Western Ghats, we have height is more and the width is somewhat less comparing with this Eastern Ghats. It varies from 50 to 80 kilometers. The height is about around the 900 to 1100 meters of height it has. So it is about comparisons we have in between these two things. Is that clear? Suppose if you ask a question to differentiate between Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, and you need to write all those things. So as we discussed in the Western Ghats, which is highest mountain which has the highest peak? What is the name of mountain which has highest peak in the Western Ghats? Unnamed. Same like in the Eastern Ghat, we have the mountain which has highest peak. The name of this mountain highest peak in Eastern Ghat is Mahendragiri. Mahendragiri is the name of the highest peak mountain in the Eastern Ghats. The name of that mountain which has highest peak in the Eastern Ghat is Mahendragiri. In the Western Ghats, it's unnamed. Is that all? So that's what about the Peninsular Plateau and the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Now we'll go to discuss about the desert. The Indian desert. The great Indian desert. What is desert? What do you mean by desert? Desert and rain. Marubhumi. So what is desert actually? Desert is an area, large and vast area which is filled by the sand. Completely it will be filled by sand. It's covered by the sand. Is not the same physical feature. It's a sand. It is covered in the large areas. What is a desert? You know. Here you will get one doubt. That means I'm saying you must get one doubt. I will explain about the physical features where it is present in India. Here we have India. Suppose we have the Himalayan mountains there, and we have northern plain here, and we have a desert. The main in a latitudinal wise, if you discuss in first chapter, we discuss about that, is not the location, about a location, that India is passed by a tropic of Cancer, and which divides India into equal half. So it passes like this, isn't it? Here, in the northern part of India, completely it's drained by the rivers, important rivers. We have river Indus and its tributaries, and we have river Ganga and river Brahmaputra. And river Ganga, it has many tributaries in that, is it not? Here, you should notice that this portion of India that lies in the tropical region, torrid region, the northern part of India that lies in the subtropical region, temperate region, is it not? So here, why only this part of India is covered by the desert? You call it a dry region. Why only this part of India is covered by the desert, not this, or not this eastern part of India except this? Why? What is the main reason? So these portions is also in the same zone where this portion is located. Both the areas are located in the same zone, temperate zone, subtropical zone. So why it's only in the western part of India is desert? We have a desert. Why not here? What's main reason? So we know in this portion, mainly in this portion, means like in this zone, here in the border and this zone, we receive very highest temperature. During the summer, we receive very high temperature in this zone. During the winter, it will be moderate, but always we receive high temperature here in this zone, torrid zone. But only this area is having desert. Why not this? What is the reason? Why I discuss about these rivers? Then why I written all those things? Why I mentioned the stream of rivers here. You will get answer. These areas is drained by the rivers, tributaries and important rivers. Here you can see, but not this area. Here in this we have many tributaries, and here we have Brahmaputra and Indus. So this all because of this work of river, tributaries and main rivers. This river is remained wet, means it has a water availability always, but not this part. So in this part we don't have any river which flows through that. So that's the reason we have the desert here in the western part. The same, this all the reasons which is very high temperature during the summer, along with this reason. But here we don't have desert because of this work of water, means the rivers. That's the main reason. So Indian desert, what is the name of our Indian desert? What is the name of it? Huh? What is the name of our Indian desert? Yes, it is the Thar. The name of Indian desert is name of Indian desert is Thar. Thar is the name of Indian desert, and it has covered around 2 lakh square kilometers of area. Of the total area of Indian landmass. It has covered 2 lakh square kilometers. It is found in the western part. It is located in west of India. It is covered 2 lakh square kilometers, located in west of India, western part of India, mainly in the Rajasthan. Is not. You can write Rajasthan, then some part of Haryana, and some part of Gujarat. This desert has spread in the Haryana, even the Haryana and Gujarat. In the northern part of Gujarat and southern part of Haryana, we have a desert. Our desert is spread there. The whole Rajasthan is under the desert. It receives very low temperature and very low rainfall, high temperature. Very low rainfall and high temperature. Here it lies in the west of Aravalli mountain ranges in the eastern direction. So here, suppose it's India. Here we have Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat, is it not? This desert which lies in the west of Aravalli mountain ranges. We have Aravalli mountain ranges here, and we have Pakistan. So this desert is also spread in the Pakistan. 85% of a desert lies in India, and the remaining 15% of a desert lies in the Pakistan. 85% of desert lie in India, remaining in Pakistan. This desert has only one river which flows. Only one river it has. It's called as Loni River. That is a seasonal river. Only during the rainy season, this desert will have the flow of water in the Loni River. So it will appear during the rainy season. Then after the rainy season, it will be disappeared. We can get to see the river here. We can get to see the river. The name of river is Loni. Only during the rainy season. But the water of this river will not discharge into the Arabian Ocean. Means it will not meet the Arabian Ocean. Then what happens when it goes? The most of that it penetrates into the desert. Remaining it will evaporate because of high temperature. The water in this Loni river it will evaporate and remaining thing will be goes under the beneath of the crust, otherwise the desert. Is that work? Write down. The only one river which flows in Thar Desert is Loni River. It has less vegetation. Due to sand which covered the vast area. In the desert is totally filled with the sand. So because of that, sand will not have much humans, much fertility in that. So that reason we don't get to see the good vegetation there. We have less vegetation. Less vegetation because due to the sand. Only one river. The name of river is a Loni River. It's a seasonal river. Because only during the rainy season we get to see this river. It's a seasonal river. The vegetations like trees, like cacti, the plants, trees and plants, we say it's a vegetations. Instead of trees and plants, you can say the vegetations. We have palm trees, and cacti, then other scrubs, thorny bushes, are found here. Vegetations means group of plants which grows naturally, like palm trees, cacti, scrubs, thorny bushes are found here. Then you know about the animals, the camel, then like Indian wild ass, then other like a horse also found here, then other like a rabbit may find, then scorpio, which also found the animals, all other important things are found there. So this about this Indian desert, like a Thar desert, which is found in the western part, which receives very low rainfall and high temperature, and it covers or it spread in the states like Rajasthan and northern part of Gujarat, southern part of Haryana, and it lies in the western part of Aravalli, and it acts like a boundary in between Pakistan and India there in the west. And here we have another one significant feature is that the dunes. Is about the dunes, like hills of a desert is called as dunes. Hills of sand is called as sand dunes. Hills of sand in desert is called sand dunes. So these sand dunes, here we can get these sand dunes in the parallelly. We have sand dunes in the western part of this desert. We call with the name called as Barkans. It's called as Barkans. Sand dunes, the longitudinal sand dunes. Longitudinal sand dunes are called as Barkans. So is that clear? It's about Thar Desert. So another important physical features of India, Thar Desert. Then we'll go for the coastal plains in the next class, coastal plains and islands. So is that clear? Okay.